The 1960s are remembered as a simpler time. No smartphones, no internet, no endless rules. Kids had freedom, and parents believed in letting them roam. But that freedom came with danger. Things that would horrify parents today were just another part of daily life back then. From playing with toxic chemicals to riding in cars without seatbelts, childhood in the 60s was filled with risks. And yet, those who grew up in that era often remember it as the best time of their lives. So, let's take a look at 10 everyday dangers kids faced in the 1960s and somehow survived. Every kid had a bike, but no one had a helmet. You'd race down gravel roads, sometimes barefoot, skidding around corners until you wiped out. Scraped knees, bruised elbows, and even broken bones were just part of growing up. Parents didn't rush to the ER for every fall. They rinsed the wound with water, slapped on a bandage, and sent you back outside. Today, no parent would let their child ride without a helmet, but in the 60s, it wasn't even an option. Every neighborhood had at least one half-finished house, and for kids, it was like a playground. Rusty nails, broken boards, ladders that led nowhere, it didn't matter. You climbed, explored, and pretended it was a castle. Falling through loose floorboards or cutting your hand on glass was a real risk. But nobody stopped you. Parents just told you to be careful and let you go anyway. In autumn, families raked huge piles of leaves into the street and set them on fire. For kids, those piles were irresistible. You jumped in them, poked the fire with sticks, and sometimes even dared to leap over the flames. The smell of burning leaves filled the air, and nobody thought about smoke inhalation or fire codes. Today, neighbors would call the fire department. Back then, it was just part of fall. Schools, homes, playgrounds, asbestos was everywhere. It was fireproof, cheap, and considered safe. Kids played near it, touched it, even broke pieces off without a second thought. Contractors bragged about using it, and parents trusted it. Nobody knew it could destroy your lungs. What we now treat like hazardous waste was once considered a miracle material. Every home had one, and when they broke, it became a toy. Kids would chase the little silver beads of mercury across the floor, poking them with their fingers and laughing at how they rolled. Parents didn't panic. They just swept it up and threw it away. Today, that would be a full-blown hazmat situation. Back then, it was just another curiosity in the bathroom cabinet. Kids built their own go-karts from scrap wood, old wheels, and rope. No helmets, no brakes worth mentioning. You pushed it up a hill and rode it down as fast as it would go, hoping you didn't crash into a tree or a car. Wipeouts were common, injuries too. That was part of the thrill. And bragging rights came with every scar. Almost every boy had a BB gun. Officially, they were for target practice. In reality, they often became tools for mock battles. Shooting cans turned into shooting at each other's legs, sometimes even worse. No safety goggles, no protective gear. Parents shrugged it off, saying it would toughen you up. Today, that would mean a trip to the ER or a police report. Tree houses were built from whatever wood you could find, old boards, bent nails, maybe an old door used as a floor. Ladders were just planks nailed into the trunk, often loose and wobbly. Falling was a real possibility, but kids didn't care. Sitting up high, looking over the yard like kings of the world was worth every risk. Nothing felt more free than riding in the back of a pickup truck, hair blowing in the wind, waving at passing cars, no seat belts, no roll bars, no protection at all. Sometimes a whole group of kids piled in, bouncing around as the truck rattled down the road. Today, that would get you pulled over instantly. In the 60s, it was just normal life. Dogs weren't fenced in or leashed. They roamed neighborhoods like they owned them. Some chased kids on bikes, some joined in games, some just barked until you backed away. Animal control wasn't called unless things got really bad. Most of the time, kids learned which dogs to avoid and which would walk beside them like friends. It was risky, but it was part of everyday life. Looking back, childhood in the 1960s was filled with danger. From toxic materials in our homes to risky games in the streets, kids faced things that would horrify modern parents. And yet, people remember it with a smile, because along with the danger came freedom, the kind of freedom kids today rarely experience. We survived scraped knees, burns, crashes, and close calls, and somehow we grew up stronger for it. It's hard to imagine now, but for kids of the 60s, danger was just another part of life. And maybe that's why they remember those days as the best of their lives.